special interview brought to you by Orsi Software. The Orsi team is committed to providing full lifecycle support for developing, testing, and delivering market-driven products. Orsi's model is when a customer engages one of us, they engage all of us. Go to orsi.com, ORASI.com for more information. Maceo, please introduce our guest, sir.
Man, listen, author, great guy. Give you a few grit bits out here in these streets, man. CJ Stewart to the microphone. What up, CJ?
Good evening, man. I'm glad to be back.
Welcome back, bro.
Guy.
I thought we had some mace going where we can call welcome back for you, man, but we ain't got that ready for
welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hey, man, since we've seen you, you did something that to me was important. That baseball game that we did at SunTrust Park. Yeah, we've been to SunTrust Park a few times, but we ain't going to say that. Anyway.
All in the dugout.
How was that received, and what has come from that since that time? Did the message get heard, do you feel?
It did, and matter of fact, the student athletes are still in relationship with each other. You know, the thing that was most important about the game is me being born and raised here in Atlanta, y'all being Atlanta boys, having the Braves downtown and then leaving. That was really tough, and specifically tough on the black community. So Mike Plant, very good friend of mine. He is one of the execs with the Braves, and we've had a relationship with him now for 10 years. And I went in and shared with him that I wanted to have a game that brought inner-city Atlanta student athletes from APS with the baseball teams from Cobb County. And he said, let's do it.
Yeah.
We had to put a lot of thought into it and make sure that we were very intentional, but a lot of the conversation was around race, and the young men, I mean, they've received it well.
CJ, with opening day being around the corner, high school baseball has started taking off. One of the things I have to thank you and congratulate you on, the fact that it's starting to become a thing where our kids are having fun playing baseball again. How do you feel? How does that make you feel when you see these kids really, really embracing the sport again?
I mean, it's great, man. And actually, baseball will never be whole, and our community will never be whole unless black males are embracing baseball. We've been in it for a very long time, and matter of fact, down at the University of Georgia, I mean, within their library, they have video footage. God, I want to say like in the early 1900s, where blacks were playing on plantations. So one plantation against another. So we've been playing the game for a very long time. It's a part of our community, and so our country will never be whole unless you can hear the laughter of black boys across this country playing baseball.
Right.
Do you feel that baseball is becoming important again in our communities?
You know what? It has always been important. It's just expensive to love it. And so, you know, we have our nonprofit L.E.A.D, but also have a for-profit Diamond Directors. And before I started L.E.A.D, I was doing very well in Cobb County. To the best word I can say is just to the neglect of my Atlanta community. When my baseball career was over with the Cubs, I was in a very selfish mode, trying to build my career as a coach and make money, and I just didn't think that I can do that in the inner city of Atlanta. So I moved out to the suburbs, was coaching at East Cobb, and was making good money. And here I am now, 20 years later, still doing it. For me to even assess a player through my for-profit is $250 an hour. But some people will say, well, you know, that's a lot of money. But I've been fortunate for 20 years to make guarantees and promises and develop a lot of major leaguers. So $250 is a drop in the bucket for kids that are really good.
Good on that level.
I take the youngin over the D-bats every Saturday, and what I'm starting to notice, the parade of different nationalities coming through, but still not enough black kids. It's places like that where you're getting extra work for your skill set.
Yeah, you know, and that's the reason why L.E.A.D exists, because again, it's a very expensive sport, and so right now we partner with Atlanta Public Schools, and we have a partnership with 9 middle schools in APS, and we're in 9 of the 10 high schools. We have a $500,000 budget to make sure that black boys in Atlanta can play baseball, and we're going to do even more too.
When we come back, man, we want to jump into L.E.A.D, talk about L.E.A.D, go through it again. I always like to talk about the reasons behind it, what does it stand for, and we had a young man who had to take care of something tonight, but we're going to talk about your ambassadors too. So stay with us, y'all. It's The Crush.
7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the app.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And lead the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Amar Batman Karen. You listen to The Crush, the only sports radio show that they're going to keep it real in the A on Sensation Station Network.
Oh, man, we're back. We're doing an Orsi Software Crushing interview with our guy, CJ. Make sure I got it right because I don't want to get
Don't get that phone call from Kelly, boy. You see how she spotted us at at the BB&T Open, boy. She's like a sniper. So,
co-founder.
Yes, you better get it right.
Don't say founder.
Right.
Co-founder. She is putting in the work.
And of L.E.A.D. And I'm having it in front of me. Great organization. Again, explain what L.E.A.D stands for those out here who may have not have known.
So it stands for Launch, Expose, Advise, Direct, and our mission is to empower an at-risk generation to lead and transform their city of Atlanta. Baseball is the vehicle. We partner with Atlanta Public Schools, which is where I got my foundation education. And the reason why we do it is because I don't believe that Atlanta will ever become a world-class city until hundreds of thousands of black males are living a sustainable life of significance.
So let's get into this, CJ, because travel ball is such a big thing here. Summertime for high school kids. What are the options besides the travel ball?
So, travel ball has its importance, but one of the things is it is not a system that you have to be a part of in order to play in college. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is my direct connection with college coaches, as well as some of our ambassadors that's now on our coaching staff. Desmond Stiegel, Mendez Elder, 2 ambassadors that have gone on to college. They have relationships. So for us, with our ambassadors, we've never, in 10 years, we've never played a game outside the state of Georgia. We have direct connects with colleges, and so for our ambassadors that are a good fit in certain places, we save a lot of money and time by putting them directly in front of the coach, rather than having to play games, spend thousands of dollars and beating them up emotionally if they don't win.
Do you feel like sometimes when it comes to what you guys are able to do, that do you face resistance sometimes?
We do. I think one of the challenges is, especially within the black community, is that I don't put enough emphasis on winning games. And with the resources that we have, a lot of people would like for me to win more games. Well, in order to win more games, I'm going to have to recruit nationally. But I want to make sure that black males within the Atlanta public school system, where there's a lot of raw talent, gets the opportunity and gets the resources, rather than recruiting a kid from Chicago, another kid from New York, just to win a tournament.
do people truly understand the skill set and the work that really goes into baseball? Because baseball is not just swinging the bat in. It's so much that goes in the field, so much that goes in the hitting, top hand. I think a lot of people don't understand that, CJ.
Well, one of the biggest issues is, when you look at talent, habit, and skills. And so one of the things that's really plaguing black baseball players specifically is getting hung up on how much talent they have. And so talent is a state of being, and it's actually at the lowest level. So what you want to be able to have is what you're saying is skills. So I define talent as things you repeatedly do well, and then habit is things you repeatedly do well without thought. But a skill is what you do well repeatedly without thought under stress. So, oftentimes for black kids, we talk about how much bat speed they got, how fast they run, how hard they throw. That's talent.
Right.
But we're talking about being able to do it under stress, when you're hurt, when you're tired, when you're not getting the playing time you would like, but then all of a sudden you get put in the game. So, and that takes time and thousands of hours of work.
So when you work with these kids, and what are some of the things that you like to focus on to make sure baseball is a great tool, it's a great skill, but you also wanted to teach them how to be men that they can prepare for later and for life. What's some of the things that you like to get in with them and try to work with them on while also teaching them the great game of baseball?
So 3 C's that I focus on is context, content, and contest. So the context is the why, the content is the what, and the contest is the when. And so, unfortunately, for a lot of black kids specifically, when they have coaching, we start typically with the what. Here's what you need to do. Context deals with the why. Like, why are you playing? What do you want to get out of the game? So getting us into their headspace and helping them to make sure that they do have the passion. And then we can get into the what. That's the easy part. I mean, black players, athletic-wise, you can teach them the fundamentals. But if you get that context right, and then the contest is the win, putting them in the right place at the right time to show their skills.
When we come back, man, we're going to continue with, I got CJ Stewart. I want to ask you a question that is it harder for us to catch up with foreign ball the way that it's being recruited or going after these days? We're going to talk about it. Stay with us. It's a Crush.
Major key alert. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com. Brought to you by GetSchooled and the Ad Council.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
Hi, I'm Viola Davis. Did you know that 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger? Growing up, I was one of those kids. But we can solve this. When we make breakfast happen for kids in our neighborhood, we have the power to end childhood hunger, create bigger, brighter school days, and healthier minds and bodies. Go to hungeris.org and lend your time or your voice.
We're hungry for more.
A message from the Albertsons Companies Foundation and the Entertainment Industry Foundation.
Become the new you at Cobb County Kia. Get 0% APR financing for 75 months on select new 2017 and 2018 Kia Forte, Sportage, Sorento, and Optimus. Kia has been voted #1 in initial quality by J.D. Power for the 2nd year in a row. Shop Cobb County Kia in Kennesaw and CobbCountyKia.com. Down payment will vary with APR and credit. For example, 0.0% APR with 25% down payment provides for 75 monthly payments of $13.33 per 1,000 finance for qualified buyers. APR finance available through KMF to qualified buyers. See dealer for complete details.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This is Lasia Clarendon, point guard for the Atlanta Dream, and you're listening to The Crush on Sensation Station Network.
We have ignition.
Hey, man, we're back doing our RC Software Crush interview with C.J. Stewart, co-founder of L.E.A.D, Inc., and also an author of Living to Lead. Let's talk about what I talked about before we left. Baseball today is apparently looks like sometimes it's a foreign sport. We know a lot of scouts go to different areas, Dominican Republic and all that, start getting these kids 13, 14, 15 years old. We saw the Atlanta Braves lose a GM for doing something wrong over there. So is it a sport that is, I mean, we still can play it, but is it that between the money and the overseas scouting, is it getting harder and harder to become a part of it?
It's not. I mean, the thing, especially being a black player, I mean, I think we have a great advantage. So, again, like we were talking about in the other portion, context, content, contest. The context. One of the things that you're going to typically get overseas, in my experience playing against players from overseas, is their level of grit. So, you get talent plus grit, and you can develop some skills. And when I talk about grit, I'm talking about kids that have good understanding around their suffering. They're not playing because if I get this hat on this travel team, I'm going to be considered cool, and my mom and dad and so on and so forth. I'm talking about kids that are playing, and I've got to take care of myself and my family. So, and black players, especially the ones here in the inner city of Atlanta, the ones that are really grinding and struggling, I mean, these are the ones that could use their circumstances as their context, learn how to hit and do all these other things, and be able to have a great life, whether it's in college or even at the professional level.
Someone was just asking the speed factor. Like, our kids, we do possess that speed. Why are they always trying to make our kids outfielders?
Well, so when I played growing up in Atlanta, I just knew I was going to be a major league shortstop. I mean, I just knew I was going to be able to do that. And I remember being humbled at Georgia State University, and the ball start coming off the bat from college players a lot faster, a lot different.
Right.
And then even at the professional level, I mean, it's very different. But to be able to play in the outfield, I mean, you got 3 people playing in the outfield covering all of that real estate.
Right.
So it is it's a lot of work. I mean, you take Jason Hayward, Andrew McCutcheon. Those are 2 of my guys that have gold gloves. But I also work with Dexter. Dexter hasn't gotten a gold glove yet, but he will have one. To be a gold glove outfielder, I mean, that requires a lot of work. That's more than just somebody hitting you balls. So I think it's an honor and a privilege to be on the field at all.
Right.
But you definitely don't want to get caught up in just saying, well, somebody's taking this spot for me, and I'm just going to stay right here shortstop until I get it. If you can get out to the outfield and be productive, move.
Right.
That's awesome. Living the lead. You wrote the book for me because it was short.
Yep.
But it was to the point. And you can tell, I can feel you're growing up, your passion for the sport, and some of the things you had to deal with. When you wrote that book, and if you don't have it, I'm telling you now, it's a great read. If a guy like me can read it, you'd hate. I'm a mathematician, all the other stuff.
Now, I don't have pictures now. Don't have pictures.
No pictures?
Oh, sorry about that. But I can feel your passion in the book. Did you get out of it what you wanted to get into it?
I did. I mean, we did sell several. It was very quickly an Amazon bestseller. But what I wrote the book for is I wanted to make sure that people that I'm going after for financial support, for L.E.A.D, I wanted to make sure that my book leads the way so that they can understand when I walk into the room, I'm not somebody in here that's trying to figure out why I'm here. I know my calling. I know my purpose. And the book just really lays it out from home, first base, second base, third, and all the way back home. So that was the purpose. The ambassadors are in the process right now finalizing their book. So they get a chance to tell their stories growing up here in Atlanta.
Can't wait to get into that. We're going to talk ambassador. This is the ambassador piece. We're going to talk about you guys. And, base show. I told you should have played baseball, man. But,
Listen, I kick myself every day.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
JBT, 700 Miami Circle, 30324. It's not a chain, it's a chain reaction.
Invest $49 a month at a real gym.
For more info, go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the...
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Hey, Crush fans, I'm Taisha Fernandez. You're listening to The Crush on Sensation Station Network.
Yeah, quiet storm. I feel you. Hey, man, we're back. It's Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network and also on WBLZSports.com.
That's how CJ dressed, y'all. He dressed like that song right there, Quiet Storm.
We hear what I got, CJ Stewart.
Yes, sir.
Of L.E.A.D. About what is it and the importance that it does for your program?
So, right now, one of the things that's really awesome is that our mayor, Ms. Keisha Lance Bottom, is a Frederick Douglass alum.
Yay.
The city council is full of people from Atlanta Public Schools as well. We do not need our future leadership becoming into existence by accident. So it is our job through L.E.A.D to develop future pastors, politicians, APS superintendent. I mean, for me right now, with my time here on Earth and even from the grave, man, I want our future leadership to be from Atlanta and specifically from my organization. Now, there are several organizations out there that should say, well, no, CJ, because I'm going to compete with you to make sure we get this. That's what I want. But in the meantime, with baseball as the vehicle, we're going to develop future Maynard Jackson.
CJ, I kind of, whenever I go over my mom's house, I look at like the plaques and the MVP stuff, and I'm always just really reminded that baseball really teaches you about life, because, like, say, you can go 3 for 10. That's success in baseball, and people don't grasp that. You mean to tell me 70% of the time I'm going to fail? But that's still a win in baseball? I think people don't understand that's what baseball gives, those grit bits that you like to talk about.
Yeah, man, baseball is hard, and that's one of the reasons why we have to play as blacks. I mean, because even in conversations that I have with people, specifically white people, you know, and when we really get down and have a conversation, several people do not believe that black boys can critically think. So one of the things that L.E.A.D is fighting for is to make sure that black males are getting the benefit of the doubt. One of the things that we intentionally do, and 92% of our ambassadors go to college on scholarship. Mm-hmm. We've been around for 10 years, and we haven't won 10% of our games. So we lose a lot of games. It's been working for us to lose. But one of the things, I mean, they're getting scholarship. They're playing D1 baseball. So it makes life good for me, so I don't have to be screaming at them and yelling at them. Because the thing is, I don't have to win a game to be considered among the top 1% in baseball.
Right.
I am already that.
Right.
So with that, there's no burden. But one of the things we intentionally do during our games to prove that our boys can think, during our games, no coaches on the field at all. No coaches in the dugout. So they're literally running bases on their own. And we have opposing coaches that'll come over and say, well, you know, where are your coaches at? You know, why aren't they on the base? I'm like, well, what would I do if I was on the base? They said, well, you need to direct the players and tell them what base. I'm like,
oh, tell them to get back. He should know that.
Right. You're going to have to know it.
Right.
And so we're always, you know, looking for those intentional opportunities. Now, your team may beat us. But the great thing about y'all beating us is you got 3 players on your team that's All-Americans. They're going to attract the scouts. So my team gets to play yours and get free scouting.
Get a look.
Yep. So we lose 15-0, but now I got 2 kids that's getting a look.
Right.
Because and we didn't get charged for
How
it.
do you teach the kids on that level to still work their hardest in the game, even though there may be losses that they have to deal with?
So everything starts simplistic, then it's complicated, and then it gets simple. So the simple thing, this is not complicated. You're going to have to go out here and you're going to have to make adjustments or quit. And every day that they come to the field is an opportunity to quit. So, you know, for me, growing up playing baseball at Adams Park, playing baseball at Collier Park, playing baseball at Westlake, we won 4 games in 3 years, my freshman through junior year, and I got drafted twice by the Cubs, hitting rocks in the backyard. I'm not going to lead our organization baseball-wise off of another major leaguer or this guy over there. This is how I did it. It works. I've been developing major leaguers for 20 years. There are better teams out there than us. Go find them. But if you bump up against our standards, you're going to lose every single time. And that's the thing that I feel like, you know, helps us. So, you know, I like to say that we're the Navy SEALs when it comes down to black male development, specifically in the city. And with the Navy SEALs, you ring that bell when you want to quit.
It's funny, man. We're about to take a quick break. But I'm glad you do it that way because in this society, everything is, we get talking about what's in the left hand of the column, when it wins, and instead of worry about the product that's being produced. So it's awesome to hear that, man, because there are some sad sports out there that don't teach skills. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say any sport. So. When we come back, man, we got more of that guy. Stay with us at The Crush.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Oh, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I could really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hey, become the new you at Cobb County Kia. We still have 0% for 75 months on Optima, Forte, Sorrento, and Sportage. We also also have that 90-minute guarantee. So this is what you do. Shop Cobb County Kia in Kennesaw and CobbCountyKia.com. 90-minute guarantee by appointment only. Purchase must be on in-stock unit. 90-minute guarantee based on original customer agreement to terms dependent on credit. Lending of $500 will be paid by check once the loan is funded by lending institution or may be deducted from the price of the car, whichever customer chooses. See dealer for details. So this is what you do.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Bobby Yoller from the Ohio State. I'm kicking it with the Crush on Sensation Station Network.
Yeah, we in the building. Almost had CJ crying. Y'all emotional.
I know, man.
Getting Mr. Baseball awards and all that stuff, man. How important have the Braves been to Lee?
Huge, man. We started in 2007. Mr. Sherholtz is a friend. He's a supporter. Laura Juris. I mean, golly, I'll get in trouble if I start trying to name all the names. But, I mean,
but stop.
Those guys been great.
They've been great. Financially, I mean, we even now are formalizing a pipeline for our ambassadors to actually work for the Braves. So we're doing a lot of intentional things.
Awesome.
Man, one of the things that I'm so proud of with this program, my little cousin, Cameron Giles, he was part of your program. And it's just what you're doing off the field with these guys, the development, making these guys better young men. I think at the end of the day, that's what we really want. We want our guys to be productive in society and not be these stories that we read on a day-to-day basis, all the negativity. It's positivity. It's positive work that you're doing, man. I always want to commend you on that.
Well, look, I mean, here's the thing. When I come here, man, I feel awesome. I mean, I've gotten a chance to be interviewed by a lot of people, man. I always have a great experience when I'm in here. And what we want the ambassadors to become, quite frankly, is you. I mean, you played at Douglas High School. I graduated in '94, and I mean, I remember you. I remember Curtis George. I remember Simeon Willis. I mean, I remember all of those guys. So, if 50% of our ambassadors grow up to do what you're doing, I think we're gonna be okay. Now,
right?
You're not from APS?
I'm from Lincoln County.
Lincoln County, but you went to Morris Brown, right?
Yeah.
All right. So but even also too, just to even have our ambassadors just get the college experience and things like that. So that's it, and it doesn't take a whole lot. I mean, for me, I don't have a bank account full of zeros.
It's got a few in there, right? Just a couple.
Well, but the thing is,
we ain't eating ramen noodles now.
We ain't doing that, baby.
But what I am happy about is
big cake.
What I am happy about is the seats that I get a chance to sit on to be able to use the word black,
right,
and not have to make folks comfortable. Even being in a position, with as a CEO and Kelly, ensuring that when I show up, I'm showing up to teal, not teach. So if it's not a moment where there needs to be tilling, I don't go. Now, to that point, within Atlanta, I am one of the most hated people. A lot of people, CJ arrogant, CJ this. CJ ain't got a whole lot of time to be playing. And so
can't be playing.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, like I said, I mean, for several years, I abandoned the city because I thought I was too good and so on and so forth. So once I had my convicting moment, I'm here.
I love that, man. You really must be my cousin, because they say the same thing about me too, and I just keep smiling. Whatever, man. Whatever.
How did the city of Cobb, the county of Cobb, take that game? Because it was a truthful game. It was what it was. I mean, you saw Me and Mace still kind of joked around like we see two different sidelines.
Yeah, man.
It was two different areas. It was two different dugouts. Let's be real.
Well, so the ironic part, so again, with Mike Plant and taking it to him, I mean, once he said yes, it was going to be great. But several of the coaches on Cobb, I've either coached or I've coached with, because I've coached at Walton.
And one of them actually came to a South Fulton school to coach football, but that's our guy too.
Yeah. Old Mario.
Yep. So, I coached at Walton. I coached at Lassiter. I've trained kids in East Cobb. So they enjoyed it so much so that, we were able to have a conversation about race among the coaches. Part of the reason why there's a decline, 2.9% of NCAA Division I baseball players are black, is because people are afraid to talk about it. And so, again, when I show up, I'm showing up to teal, not teach. So it was received. They loved it. We're going to do it again. June 8th.
It was crazy because
we invited.
Yeah, you invited. Absolutely.
Make sure this time we got to come with a different pose.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a baseball uniform this time. One of the things, just talking to Glade while we was watching the game, and I was just pointing out little stuff. I'm like, just see how they understand, like, the pickoff move on the car kind of kid a little different from this kid. The size of the kid, just a little bit. But it's, for me, watching, I was like, what it did for our kids, it showed them, okay, we can play with them, but we still have some ways to go.
And you can say that all day long, but that was a part of the game. To your point, is to make sure that they can see it. Okay?
Right.
We can play, and they were able to point out the size of the players and things of that nature. And so it's gotten some things started. I'm 41 years old. I want to be doing this until 50. We've got several ambassadors that's right now prepared to take my position.
Right.
So I'm gonna call a state championship in APS in baseball within the next 10 years for sure.
Awesome. I can see it. I can see it. Xavier Curry almost got one over there at Mays. He almost pitched them to one.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't mention Kelly and what she's meant to this program.
Yes, sir. Greatest story in the book. Greatest story in the book.
She had us in line. Like, yes, ma'am. What you need.
So sent me a text like, I see you over there. Oh, wow.
What has she meant to you in this program?
Yeah, man. So Kelly, just for all intents and purposes, man, saved my life. It's cliche to say, I don't know where I would be. I just don't know.
Right. So, and then the cliche eyes.
Yeah, man. So she, as our executive director, Kelly makes things happen, and so she's a trusted source for me. We work together on both our for-profit and our non-profit. So, we have to balance that between our marriage and everything. But I respect her even more so now after watching Black Panther and just the way that they profile women.
Yeah. Everybody they women different when they walked out the movie theater.
Kelly moved everybody around SunTrust Park that day. Listen, if you weren't doing something,
I want to get you.
If you got Kelly, if she made eye contact with you, was gonna be doing something. I think I drugged third base line one time.
This cat wearing shades and chilling, Kelly. I was like, we know who running some of these.
But hold on. You saw he took them glasses off real fast when they got close to the game. She had him on the move.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Well, she does. We got some other games that she runs. We do our Safe at Home game where the ambassadors play against the police department. But we're also working on another game that I'll come back on the show and share with y'all. This is going to be bigger than the Cobb game. You're going to love it. So she's working on that. But yeah, she. So I do the tilling. She does the planting, and so she is the education of.
She the boss.
She's the boss.
She's the boss. Yeah, I saw it firsthand.
Yes.
Yeah. I got scared. I was like, let me grab this rake and put these base pads down or something. So she give me something for real to do.
I walked around the whole town with my green band. I'm like, look, Kelly, I don't need these. Kelly, I don't need these.
I got that to her, and I'm like, look, I know next time.
Right.
Between Kelly and Lisa Baker.
Yeah, Lisa was there too.
Especially Lisa.
Oh my God.
My hands up. Like, I got my green band. They still don't start snitching. They still ain't got it.
You sure start snitching, man. I'm trying to find a way to get in the game. I want the picture in the two.
Hey, man, so at the end of the day, man, when you look at what you're doing, what you went through and where you're at now, how would you describe your process, your progress, and where you see you going forward with this?
Well, I'm glad you asked that last part because, right now we're doing good work. But again, 2.9% of NCAA Division I baseball players are black. So last year there were 491,000 baseball players at high school level in America, among all races, grades 9 through 12. There were 13,353 in Division I baseball, and 310 were black.
Y'all hear that number?
310.
310.
And it's not because black kids are not good enough. Because if you looked at it, let's just say, for instance, out of the 490,000, let's say 10% were black. That's 49,000. Yeah. And then if we drill that down to 10% and we work those numbers down, there's no way with so many black players being drafted in the first round and so on and so forth. So the issue is I believe that there's institutionalized racism within college baseball, and that's not to demonize anybody. It just needs to be understood so that some changes can be made. That's where I'm trying to go.
Right.
I'm trying to get to the NCAA level. That's my dream job, so that I can knock down some barriers. I can show up to Teal, knock down those barriers. So that way, because otherwise the things that we're doing is good, but we need somebody to get ahead of it so that we can open up those doors.
Because it is crazy to see a FAMU or Bethune-Cookman or any HBCU game, and it's more white kids than black kids on the team.
Well, and because of the cost of baseball, I mean, the white players are able to take advantage of the minority scholarship.
And there it is.
So,
and there it is. Right.
It's so, but again, I mean, there's hope. I have conversation with several white coaches within Division I baseball. I've got a relationship with several athletic directors. People do want to make the change, but somebody's got to make it their point to be dealing with this, and that's what I want to do. Not something I'm going to do next year or within the next couple years, but these ambassadors need to hurry up so they can take my job.
I love it, man. I freaking love it. Oh, there she go. Right. Yeah, I wonder what you were looking for. I'm like, man, she running. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to watch, change the hair purple. CJ, please let everybody know where they can find out more about the program, man.
So I'm on Facebook all the time.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He actually respond now, too. So, yeah.
And our website is lead2legacy.org. So lead2legacy.org.
lead2legacy.org. Brother, we got you, fam.
Always open mic, baby. Always, man. Always.
And I just want to wrap my Adidas.
With no shoestrings on them, I did not win them.
Thank you, brother, as always,
yes,
man.
Sir, man.
Hey, when we come back, man, we're doing this rundown. Stay with us. It's The Crush.